Holy look at this, motherfucker. There's like 15s?
Yep, 12, 18s.
Wow.
This is a work of art, brother.
Thank you. Hey, what's going on, everybody on YouTube? EXO coming at you here, feeling refreshed and ready for action. Thanks for joining the video. Should probably chill out on these juice boxes, man, but I'm freaking addicted. Been busting some serious butt behind the scenes because show season is here. These 12-18s are just dying for some flex, and we already got a whole list accomplished to help get us there too. First up, brand new runs of 4/0 power wire from the front to the back. In our previous video, we installed a second alternator, plus I've got ideas for doing triples, so that meant a single run of 4/0 wasn't really future-proof anymore. With 2 runs, however, 2 positive and 2 ground, we can now handle up to 1,000 amps with less than 1 volt drop. But the chances of my yin-longs actually utilizing that much juice is highly unlikely. So far, testing the single 370, even with a super hungry, low state of charge battery, the dang alt seems to max out around 250 amps. No matter how much I rev the engine, 2,000, 3,000, the output stays at 250. Super annoying, right? Granted, the ESR is always a factor there, good old ding-dongs, but it begs the question, out of nearly 800 amps of potential output, how much is my battery bank actually able to soak up? This is an unavoidable trait, and it varies a lot. Every chemistry of every battery has different charging behaviors, so it may be surprising sometimes numbers-wise. Here's a quick before and after, single to dual alternators charging up from 14 volts. So I'm idling here at 14.5 volts up front, and we're putting out about 140 amps at idle. This is the problem I'm dealing with. So I'm gonna go ahead and show you what happens. Yep, 140 amps coming out to the back. So now I'm gonna go ahead and give it some gas here, show you how it'll go right back to probably 250. Ready? And there we go, 250, there it is, the same old number. But slowly but surely, it will decrease over time as the voltage increases. So now I'm gonna go ahead and kill it because I don't want to charge it up too much here. We're gonna have to drain the battery back down for test number 2 and see how much the output increases now with dual alts under the hood. Looks like at idle now, we're right about 300 amps. Here's what happens when we give it some gas. It increases a lot. So it's looking like no matter what I do, each alternator is only good for about 250 amps. You can see it's kind of consistent across the board. I can give it a little bit of gas. She starts creeping again, all the way up to dang near 500. So obviously we're at 14.6, so it's gonna slowly decrease as the voltage increases and trying to drill that point home because it's never consistent. It's always changing and fluctuating, especially based off the state of charge that you're at. We are at 15.15 volts here, and now we are getting nowhere near the output that we were getting before because the battery doesn't call for it. It's not requiring it. It's not having as many hands out grabbing amps because they're already full, holding it in reserve. So let's go ahead and turn the system on, go for a little ride, and get some bass pumping. That one, if the silence is deafening after demoing, I swear. It's almost like I feel like I'm getting caught and my heart races even more than the beginning, especially with these cars driving by. So I'm keeping it at -5, basing out at 14.5 volts. We are just trying our hardest to climb back up at idle. What is that, about 70 to 80 amps roughly? I had to get my foot on the accelerator to get decent output, and this brings up a perfect point in the video to talk about another upgrade I did behind the scenes with a Fast Max 5.0 throttle controller. It's installed right behind the stock controller, but it uses a Bluetooth app so I can actually go into the settings and lock a high idle mode with, well, whatever I want, and it will stay. Well, in a perfect world, it will stay. But what I've noticed was, and this can be pretty dangerous, it starts to run away. The same problem that it did with my foot. Like the truck compensating and start to rev up really high all by itself. This does the same thing. All right, so there it is right there. You could see the event where it kind of just started triggering. Now we're already up 1,000 RPMs. I'm not even doing anything. It's starting to run away till I click this button. And that's just something I can't deal with. The whole point of this device was kind of a set it and forget it, so I'm not always constantly required to be here with my foot. It's good in theory, but I guess this ECM just was kind of finicky. Oh well.
So I'ma put it in the biggest phone.
No, your windows like going crazy like you was using a Sawzall. Your windows was going crazy, bro.
Yeah, oh yeah, you can just chuck that right here. My name is Bruce, man. Nice to meet you. My name is Bruce.
Bruce?
Yeah, I was just gonna do some skateboarding today. Have you ever heard loud bass before?
I'm from Southeast Detroit.
I know you have then, right?
Man, it smells good up in here. God damn, you're gonna blow my head off.
No, it's only 12-18s. It's only 12-18.
Damn, dude. I don't have long hair, so it's not gonna be the dramatic. My nose hairs will curl and flip around.
I'll hit you with a quick low note, and then I'll let you hear like one of my favorite songs.
Holy look at this, motherfucker. There's like 13, 15s?
Yep, 12-18s.
12-18s. Wow. How the you get that many speakers like that?
Dude, it took me like 10 years. A long time.
This whole thing took me. I bet you get some bitches. You just knocked my earbud. My brain butt came flying out.
Good old Ricky sitting shotgun, man. Nice to meet you, Ricky. Did you expect going to the store today? You get freaking hammered with some 18s?
Man, how aren't you deaf yet?
It's the low notes. The high notes bother me, but the low notes don't necessarily bother me. Really, a motorcycle is more damaging to your ears, to be honest.
It made my nose hairs make me want to
Oh
sneeze.
yeah, dude, I'm always pulling them out because I can feel them blowing in the breeze.
Like, this is a work of art, brother.
Thank you.
There's a pussy magnet.
Wait, can I, the fact that you just said this is a work of art, can I show you the back?
I mean, I'm very artistic.
We got another guy who appreciates some craftsmanship.
Damn. Holy s***.
This is a big bank of lithium batteries and a big bunch of amplifiers. These are the Incriminator Audio 6Ks, and those are the Yin Long 40 amp hours from XS Power.
Are you sure you ain't my brother? Another mother? I thought it was a work vehicle.
Dude, a cop was driving by me and I was jamming. He didn't even think twice to look at this because he probably thought it was a work vehicle.
Yeah.
He's like,
man, can you hit me one more time with it before I go?
heck yeah.
Just wanted to pick me up a bottle of liquor. I didn't know I was gonna meet some hippies out there smoking a blunt. And then some random dude in a work vehicle blows my head off.
Check me a nigga on a night like this, on a night like this.
Dude, that snap. Did you feel that snap?
Damn.
Dang.
That's like that's what skydiving, man. That's
I
crazy.
said that in my 2 videos ago. I said those exact words.
Woo.
I said it was like skydiving. I
No,
swear.
no
I swear.
God damn.
I'm pleased to be able to do first big bass experience, man. Great times.
First, I can promise you I won't ever forget you, man.
Heck yeah, dude.
You just made my day, brother.
That was freaking awesome. Well, who would have thought a nice skate session would have turned into a double freaking bass blaster? Let's go ahead and see if we can get maybe a couple more tricks in, huh? Actually, scratch that. Elise just called. I forgot I got an appointment up at Tar Chevrolet to drop off my 3500. Evidently the engine's out again.
She belongs to the streets. Daddy to bleed.
Yes, sir. Gotta love cruising them back roads, just jamming to your heart's content. Sometimes you gotta throw fear out the window, if you know what I'm saying. At least I do. Sometimes I get a little nervous if I'm disturbing the peace or making someone upset as I drive by. But heck, we're only on this planet for a short amount of time, and even a short amount of time will I be driving by your house. So what I say is volume to the max, all the way, and have some fun with it. You know what I'm saying? We've done a heck of a lot of little upgrades that's been adding up here and there. So let's go ahead and bring it back to what we started this video, just showing off some of the cool little things. You may have noticed me holding this little device while demoing. Well, that's actually controlling the bass. I think I need to upgrade the firmware because it keeps kind of switching back and forth between that screen. But overall, I'm really glad I got this, but I only like it on normal mode. When it's on fast mode, you do hear the volume increases when you're on like a sine wave, so it kind of like goes bing, bing, bing. But overall, I'm really liking it in normal mode. The bass station is installed right here on the side, and if you're curious what it is, it's the pro version of the LF Audio wireless volume controller, and this thing can go like 100 feet. Pretty cool. And since I was here anyways, I also installed a new 17-foot run to the back, because when I first debuted this thing, I was only on one line and it was split 12 ways, so now I actually have both channels working. So now that there was less overall voltage drop on my 17-footer, I retuned my DSP settings to compensate for the slight voltage increase. I also took the time to recalibrate all my OM1s for the bass, mids, and highs. That way when I'm going full tilt, I have a more truer representation of my true output. There's just something about being able to look down and at a glance tell what your amplifier's output is and see if you're approaching dangerous levels of clipping. Plus, they look real badass in there, and if you're curious where to grab some, check out Showtime Electronics. Our buddy Log has been holding it down, really trying to improve the customer service experience, because for a while there, I was like, what the heck is going on? Things were crazy. So thanks for holding it down, supporting the cause. They're really trying to improve things over there, and your feedback means a lot. Another change that you're technically already aware of, because we showed it earlier in this video, the conductor. I installed it right here on this little removable panel. This is just the screen, but we have the actual unit under the hood, where all the ground wires get plumbed through to the back and where the housing holds the shunt that's inside. I have it set up so that the only connections running through it are the big hefty ground wires for our alternators. That way I can keep tabs on just that and that alone. If you're curious to learn more about this little guy, I have a whole video explaining its form and function, so definitely check out the links in the description. Next thing I did, even though it feels like a losing battle sometimes, because every time I turn the system on, it undoes my progress, I tightened up all of the speakers and the tweeters, and especially the bolts, which mount the door panel to the metal. It was flexing like crazy, and I ended up forming a little bit of a gap up there. Just a little dab of Loctite and some adhesive on the ones that weren't really metal on metal. I think we should be all right. And I just got confirmation from Crescendo themselves that I'll finally be able to plug up this oops of a hole with a real speaker. Replacement parts for the Ultra Neos are on the way, so I'll finally be able to have a nice even balance on the passenger side and the driver side, undoing what we did on the amplifier before, just to sound balanced temporarily. I also added an extra strip of LED lights right here above the windshield, so when we're jamming out at nighttime, there's a little bit of shine above your head, because there's always that dark spot, especially with this thing in front of it. See how that kind of makes a big difference? Also, for due diligence, I went around to every single brace, top and bottom, and hardware on the side, and tightened it up real good. Nothing really vibrates more than 12/18s, if you know what I'm saying. So if it's prone to vibration, I'm gonna go around and double check it every so often. Definitely got a good jump on the show season to be up and ready and playing, but I have something even cooler that I'm gonna make a whole designated video on. Oh, where'd it go? Right here. Check it out, guys. To protect my new speakers that I just talked about with the Ultra Neos, I don't want to freaking do what I did last time, smashing a foot. I got a foot protector. That's a freaking EXO grill right there. That is amazing. Custom speaker pods coming through in the clutch, and I'm also going to do a staggered pattern with some hexy honeycomb. Won't that look good? It's not all going to be just EXO down the line. I kind of wanted to stagger it a little bit, you know, keep it interesting. So yeah, had a great time today, jamming, skating, meeting some new people. What a blast, man. It literally blew his mind. You could tell he was just like, what the heck? I hope you guys are staying happy, staying healthy, and maybe I'll catch you on the rebound at one of these shows. So until the next one, I will talk to you in the next video. I literally just said that. This is EXO signing out. Okay.